talks from the crypt.
I know this is a good concept. I know anyone who's been skiing has thought of this, like what would I do? But how do I sustain it? Because like in a typical movie, you have scene changes, costume changes, like you go from day to night, from whatever. Like this was just the chair. Like the chair was a character, and can I sustain it for that long? And I'm just grateful the producers let me cast who I cast, because like especially like Zegers was great, but he's sort of like the Janet Leigh in a way, because I think he probably was the most well-known face out of the three of them at that time, even though Sean had been in the X-Men movies. But to kill him first, because Sean Ashmore's character is very much set up to be the first one to go, because he's the third wheel kind of like, you know, best friend.
Right.
But when it comes down to just Sean and Emma, and then Emma got Final Destination 5 off of that.
Oh shit.
That was a crazy day, because Craig Perry, who produces the Final Destination movies, who's a friend, he left me a message, and it's like, Mr. Green, Craig Perry here. Give me a call back. Wanted to ask you about Final Destination. And I was like, finally, I get the nod. Holy shit, here we go. And I called, and I'm like, I love Final Destination, man. And he's like, yeah. He's like, we were thinking about Emma from your movie Frozen. What do you think? And I was like, she's great, man. You should totally hire her if you can. She'll be great. And then she got Walking Dead, and then she got Dallas, and like, but if you look at Frozen, it says, and introducing Emma Bell. So, and she was the first person to audition for that movie.
You have a knack for that, getting the first person that auditions, because I think Mary Beth, who played her originally, she was also a first.
No, she was one of the last.
Oh, really?
We had seen everybody, including Danielle Harris from Mary Beth.
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
At the time, I was like, fuck, this movie's already got, because that was the last part we cast, because I just couldn't find somebody that was right, knowing I want this to be, at the time, 3 movies. And we had Kane, we had Robert Englund, Tony Todd, Josh Leonard from Blair Witch, Mercedes from Buffy. I'm like,
and Addams Family.
But I'm like, if we have one more horror person in this, it's because it's a comedy, especially people are going to think it's a parody. Which is why if you look at the trailer for Hatchet, there's not an ounce of humor in that trailer, which I still do agree that was the right way to go. Because if they had started including any of the humor, it would have seemed silly and like, what is this? So anyway, we didn't go with Danielle, and we went with Tamara, who is one of the final people to come in. But on Frozen, Emma was the very first, not just for that character, but very first person to walk in the door. And her audition was the monologue about her dog starving to death. And I was just like, that's her. Like, it's her. We don't need to see anybody else, but they made me go through 5 more weeks of auditions. And then she had set the bar. But even like her face, because she's pretty, but she's pretty in a real way.
Yeah.
Like she's not like so pretty that she couldn't exist.
Right.
Or because oftentimes in movies, people are they're so outrageously good looking where that becomes almost like a distraction, because you're like, God, how is this guy this much better looking than I could ever be on my best day?
Am I supposed to look like this?
Yeah. Like, fuck, man. God, look, this guy's got abs. God, I could never be with a girl that hot. Like I could, like, it just happens. So for the most part, as good looking as everyone is that I've ever worked with, I feel like I've always gotten to work with like real looking people, which like I kind of prefer. But this new one, were we talking about this last night? Like the main cast is so good looking. It hurts.
They're all hot. It's insane.
Thankfully you get over that pretty quick on screen, like based on like things that happen and everything. And this was something I mentioned to producers. I'm like, the average genre fan doesn't look like that. And they like it when there's at least someone in the cast that looks like them, and not the person that picked on them in high school, or that they could never get up the courage to ask out. given the context of the story, like it all makes sense. But I just remember seeing them all together for the first time and being like, holy shit, like you guys are way too good looking to hang out with me. Like this is not gonna work.
So how long was that in production for? I mean, how long were you guys shooting?
I left from Malta right after New Year's. And so January, I got back early April 1st.
Oh my God, is that the longest production you've ever had?
But a lot of that was prep. I think the actual shoot was about 5 weeks. It's hard to say because there were so many days that we got shut down because of wind or rain. And then then we would shoot on the weekend instead. And I'm sure somebody knows the answer. By the time we record a commentary, I'll make sure I know it. But we still actually have a little bit left to shoot as well.
Yeah.
So
is the movie set in Malta or was that like a budgetary choice?
No, it's set there.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was maybe the writer wrote it knowing that Malta's a great place to shoot. And fuck, was it great, man. The people were so awesome. The crew was so good. The food was great. Like I loved it there.
Dude, they shot Passion of the Christ there. It looks really ancient.
And Jurassic, the new Jurassic World and Gladiator 2 was there.
Game of
Popeye
Thrones.
was there. Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, Popeye.
Yeah. The Popeye Village is still there. I never had a free second to go see it, but the rest of the American crew all went there and they were like, yeah, it's what you think it is. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't miss anything.
So when you're in another country filming something like this, I mean, is there still those like pinch me moments of holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this? Or are you just kind of used to the routine now?
No, every single day. Every day you're like, I can't believe I'm getting to do this. And it's something I keep stressing to my actors on each movie and on the crew because I never forget it. But I can understand why some days it's so hard and you're so tired and beaten up that, of course, it's natural to want to complain. But the fact that there are so many people who would give anything for the chance, just the chance to do this once. And I've never forgotten what that feels like. And it's just I'm very realistic. I know I was just joking about it, but until this new movie is out and people can see it, anything could happen.
Right.
Tomorrow they could be like, oh no, it all burned up. Whatever a meteor crashed and you just don't know.
Yeah.
But I always try to stress to people. And again, if there's a making of on the physical release of this, I know when we picture wrapped, I just remember because it's always a blur, especially the very end, because you have to, as the director, you have to keep this thing going through the whole thing. You've got this. And then finally you reach the finish line and you just want to collapse and you can't even remember what the last few weeks were like. And there was a bottle of champagne pushed into my hand and everyone's speech. And I knew there was a rap party coming up and that's when I would put some words together. But I do remember saying, we're so lucky we get to do this, that we get to tell stories. And then you always have to assume each one is your last because there's no guarantees in this. It doesn't matter that you've had previous success or that you have a following or that there's no guarantees in this. And I think I've always known that. But I think I was but I will always find a way. I'll find a way until